Hey journeys, where y'all been? It's Unique and I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to come and bring y'all a Q&A because it's been a minute since we sat down, caught up about what's going on with y'all girl. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into these questions. I got a lot of them, so we're gonna try to breeze right on through. So the first one is, what would you tell Atlanta YouTube sister Unique? They getting into the nitty-gritty, okay? What I would tell her is definitely use your discernment. You have that spiritual gift that has been granted to you by the greatest one of them all. Use that shit. Be very discerning of the people that you allow in your circle, in your life, because everybody is here for a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and sometimes everybody's intentions ain't pure. I can definitely say that those that was meant to be for me is still in my life right now, and I appreciate them so much. If you could tell Lipstick Alley bitches one thing, what would it be? Mind your business. That's it. That's all. Next one. You've been consistent since 2015. What really keeps you going with your YouTube journey? For me, I'm a creator first. I really enjoy creating. The stuff that people find tedious about being a YouTuber, i.e. listening to your own self-talk, editing videos, I get a kick out of that. I really enjoy being able to take something that's a really blank canvas and make it into something beautiful. So my YouTube channel allows me to document my experiences, but it allows me to also be creative. I can definitely say that YouTube has really been a great support system for my journey as I'm growing and evolving, and it's really been a good outlet for me to be able to express myself and not end up in a crazy house, okay? Because life be life, and it's important for us to always have those therapeutic techniques and practices that we can always reach for. Me being able to get in my zone with my YouTube channel is definitely something that keeps me going. Also, the support from all of y'all. A lot of y'all been watching me since 2015. Every time I see y'all comment in the comment section about how long y'all been watching, it really amazes me because I've definitely gone through a lot of shifts and changes. I know that the person that I am today is nothing like the person that I was when I first started. So for y'all to be accepting of that and still keep up with my journey, that's just amazing. Being able to create, express myself, and having a support system, that's what keep me going on YouTube. We all have our days. What's 3 affirmations you can say to combat your current insecurities? For me, one thing that I like to say to myself is definitely that you are enough. That's a big one. Or I am enough. I am affirmations are probably like one of the most powerful ones that you can profess over yourself. So just knowing that you are enough just as you are today. You don't have to be nothing more, nothing less. There's no reason for you to feel like you gotta constantly be fixing at yourself or whatever. I am enough. That's one. The second one would definitely be you are beautiful just the way that you are. Period. The third one would definitely be that love is infinite. If somebody else goes off and be with somebody else and they leave you because they want somebody else, that's okay. There's no need to feel jealous, feel insecure, abandonment over the situation. Love is infinite and love will always come back around to you. So I would say that my biggest insecurities is surrounded by like worthiness, beauty, as well as being abandoned. And so having 3 affirmations that address those roots of my insecurities in my life is really helpful for me. The next one is, do you ever struggle with feeling underappreciated in the realm of what we do for work? I definitely can't say that I feel underappreciated in the realm of what I do for work. I feel like the way in which I feel unappreciated is how the work that I do impacts my platonic friendships as well as my romantic connection and family, honestly, because it's like people don't always realize that I'm light working in the midst of their life, and a lot of times I don't get thank you, a lot of time I don't get recognition, and a lot of times people kind of brush off what it is that I do from a light worker's perspective as just normal. Like I mentioned on my podcast, my spirituality and my lifestyle is so intertwined that people don't know how to separate the two. They think that with spirituality for me is the same thing as my behavior and my expression and how I treat others, and it's just like me being able to stand in a place where I can be an advocate for somebody, me being able to be in a place where I can pray for somebody, go to spirit and like wish the best for them. That is energy. And a lot of times I feel like people don't realize what's energy. If it's not tangible, if they can't feel it, if they can't touch it, they miss it. And so it's been really challenging for me to describe to people like the actual impact that I have on them, because they can't feel it in the natural sense, but they know they feel good energetically and spiritually. So if anything, I feel underappreciated in the sense that it's difficult for other people to separate the natural and the spiritual realm when it comes to the impact that I have on their life. The next one is, what's your favorite thing about yourself that you had to learn about yourself? I would say my favorite thing about myself that I had to learn is that I just like to be free in my own right. That's something that I really like about me, because it helps me to be able to take chances, go with the unknown of what's to come. I kind of just like throw myself out there and hope for the best. And a lot of times I get seen as I live in the clouds. And so I would say the part about me that I really like that I had to learn is that even though I live in the clouds, is really beautiful, because I don't always take shit so seriously. I be kind of like cooling it about life, going with the flow of everything. So my favorite part about myself is definitely being a free spirit. It's something that I had to learn over time, and I'm still learning through that. I'm learning through how I can find space to express my free spirited nature and really be okay with being that and the outcomes that might come from me being a free spirit, and not really forcing myself to be opposite than that, because sometimes it doesn't always pan out in the way that I would expect, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. What's the best piece of advice that you ever received? Probably something that my spiritual mentor had said to me. I think it was like, don't accept breadcrumbs from people. I didn't realize in a past connection that somebody was giving me breadcrumbs, and I was like really hyped over the fact that I was getting the bare minimum from them. And if y'all haven't seen my chit chat Get Ready With Me, I go into it a little bit more in detail. From the point that I am at today, I really be assessing like, is this person giving me breadcrumbs? I wonder. Just seeing people from their actions, how they treat me, the vibes they give, the energy they give, I be like, is this breadcrumbs? It also happens at work. I was at one of my gigs one time and I realized that they were giving me breadcrumbs. People were using me to the point of what was convenient for them, but the moment that I asked them for something in return, i.e. more hours, more shifts, more opportunities, they couldn't give that to me. But you would hire me to do one thing, and then I would end up doing all these other things and doing a job that I wasn't even paid to do, off the strength of, when I come here, I come and I do what I do as a hard worker. I'm very dedicated to what I do really well. No, I don't like working, but when I'm working, I show up 110,000%. And so with that specific company, I had to start pulling myself back. I stopped asking them to do anything for me, and anytime they would try to send me a shift or whatever, or ask me was I available to do something that I didn't want to do, I would tell them no, or I would decline it. And it's like, dang, you making yourself lose out on money? No. I felt underappreciated in that environment. I felt like they took advantage of me, and so now I'm gonna take back my energy and my access. You can ask somebody else to do the shit that I don't want to even do. So being able to speak up for yourself is really important. Being able to advocate for what it is that you want. There was a specific role that they wanted me to do on a specific night, and I told them like, no, I accepted this because I wanted to work this. Don't try to put me over here because it's convenient for you. Breadcrumbs, don't accept them from nobody. And that's not just in y'all dating life and y'all relationships. That's also with work. That's also with family. Don't accept it. You know exactly what it is that you want. And so when people try to convince you of otherwise or take advantage of your kindness, don't Don't let them do that. Excuse the background noise. My mom is on the phone and everything down there just comes up here, but I'll probably put music over there, so I hope that y'all can't really hear it like that. The next question is, what has been your biggest heartbreak? I would say that my biggest heartbreak came initially from my father. The fact that my father wasn't in my life growing up, that broke my heart tremendously. It made me feel like I wasn't good enough. It made me feel like it was my fault that my parents separated, because when I got here they was no longer together, but before I even came they was together for 7 years. And so the fact that I did not have him in my life, that was probably my biggest heartbreak of them all. And I've encountered so many others throughout my lifetime, from relationships and friendships as well, which I spoke about on my channel already. Some of them are private now. I would say that my very first heartbreak was the biggest, and even though I've been through some crazy stuff with friends, relationships, family members, acquaintances, jobs, I don't feel like nobody has yet to top the heartbreak that I felt not having my dad in my life growing up. So that even make me a little choked up, but life goes on. His loss, right? What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? For me, I would say that the most adventurous thing that I ever done was live in a car. I don't think I ever told y'all about this, because even though I thoroughly enjoyed it, I did have some shame around it based on how I felt like people would judge me because I lived in a car. But I would say that that was the most adventurous thing that I done, like sleeping in Walmart parking lots, going to different places, just spare of the moment, just being in the car. I left some of my stuff at somebody's house in their garage. The rest of my stuff was just with me. I always wanted to be one of those nomadic people, one of those backpackers. Me living in a car was just a glimpse of what that would be like. I really love van life. I really love car life. I just like the aspect of constantly being on the move, going new places, seeing new things, meeting new people, but cost effectively and making the most of the experiences. So I would say that my biggest adventure was living in a car. It wasn't all peaches and cream, it wasn't all positive. It was definitely a learning curve, but I loved it. So yeah, if I ever come into money, just know I'm gonna buy a van and I'm gonna live in there. That's adventure to me. Backpacking, hopping city to city, hopping country to country, that's like something that I find to be very adventurous. What's your favorite childhood memory? My favorite childhood memory? I don't know, like my childhood was kind of up and down, but I really loved when my sister lived with us. Y'all excuse the background noise, I'm so sorry. But I really want to get this video done, for real. I would say that my best childhood memories was when I got to live in the same house with my sister as a kid. So for y'all who don't know, my sister and I are 14 years apart, and she got married really young, so we didn't actually experience living together that long. And so when we were at the apartments, her room was like right across from mine, and one of my fondest memories was sitting in my room in the doorway looking into her room and watching her talk on the phone to like her friends and stuff. That's when we had like house phones and everything. I just felt like she was the coolest person ever, you know. Having a big sister was just so cool to me. I really admired her. I thought that, like, I know she's not perfect now, but at that age, like, I thought she was perfect, you know. And I thought she was so cool. I used to like riding out with her and her friends in the car, listening to music. That's why I really enjoyed Lauryn Hill's music, because they would listen to Lauryn Hill in the car. And so those songs from back in the day, it really gives me nostalgia of the good times, like, and just kicking it with my sister and her friends, being so young and being with teenagers, I felt like was the coolest thing. And those were probably the best times of my childhood, was just when me and my sister lived in the same house, because it was very short-lived. She got married and moved out so quick, it feels like. So are you still in love? 100%. I'm definitely still in love. What's your favorite thing about Flame? My favorite thing about Flame is definitely her accent. It's so unique, it's so different. She has two of the best in my opinion, two of the best accents in the entire world coupled together, and it's just like listening to her talk is so sexy to me and so attractive. It really turned me on. What's the most inspiring thing that you've ever witnessed? Inspiring? That's a stretch. I don't know. The most inspiring thing that I have ever witnessed is my life, my resiliency, thinking of everything that I've been through and how I can still show up as the person that I am today. It's just so trippy to me. Like, I inspire myself, okay, for my tenacity, my resiliency, the fact that I'm an underdog. I love a woman lead. I feel like I'm a woman lead, period. If y'all was to make a documentary about me, I'll be the woman lead that's the underdog, that started from literally nothing and worked her way up to be able to be successful and admired and an influence on people to really live big and think outside of the box. The most inspiring thing is my life, period. I can't even think of anything outside of myself that comes to mind first that is inspiring to me. Yeah, I've seen other touching stories and stuff like that, but no story that I have ever heard has trumped my testimony personally for my life. When is the last time you cried? The last time I cried was actually yesterday. I was struggling with my other channel. I was going through some crazy technology stuff, and I just felt like I was tried up in the area of that channel, and it made me second guess. Am I supposed to even be making this channel right now? Is this channel meant to be? Is this something I'm supposed to be doing? I started to second guess it because it's like every time that I felt like I was getting good traction with that channel, I noticed something that I missed before, and I started to beat myself up about it, and it honestly made me cry because a part of me has this perfectionist need to be perfect and need to have everything on its P's and Q's, just be whipped together proper. You know what I'm saying? A part of me is like that, and that part of me was really tested and tried and trialed, okay? How are you mentally? I guess today is probably a very mentally sound day as I went to therapy. Highly recommend anybody out there that's been thinking about it, this is your sign. So I was able to like really get some things off my chest. I was able to journal today. On the days that I go to therapy, it can be really a wild card of how I can come out of there. But the way that I came out of there today, it definitely helped me feel like I'm in a more mentally stable place than when I went. I'm really grateful for that. The fact that I don't have to pay for it no more out of pocket, the right insurance and kickback in for me, honey, that's a blessing. So today, I feel mentally stable. Tomorrow, I can't make no promises. What's something you've always wanted to learn but haven't? Something that I always wanted to learn but haven't is how to speak multiple languages. Y'all know I'm really big on wanting to travel the world, and I want to be able to go into different places and be able to talk to other people in that place in their language. So I practice a lot when we go to Mexico. I try to just speak Spanish when I'm interacting with the locals, but it's hard. I can go there and try to speak Spanish all day long, but if I don't have nobody at home to help me practice, I lose it. And that's how it was for me with German. I was speaking German really good, and I could practice with my ex-boyfriend because he also spoke German. But the moment that we weren't speaking it together no more, I lost it. And so when I meet people that's from Germany, they'll come to the restaurant and I be wanting to have conversational German with them, and I can only introduce myself and tell them my name and where I'm from, but I want to talk to them, you know? Y'all, I'm so sorry. The background noise is blowing my vibe. I want to be able to learn multiple languages. That's something that I want to do and I haven't done. What's your body count? Okay, I actually stopped counting, but I think the last time I stopped counting, it was at like, what's the last thing you bought yourself? I bought myself makeup because I needed it, period. So Amazon got a whole bunch of my coins because I needed to re-up on a whole lot of things. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this face. The cheeks is cheeking and it's giving glow. I like it. If you could choose only 3 things to never live without, what would they be? 3 things to never live without is love, money, and peace of mind. Can't do without it. Can't do without it. All right, y'all, so those was all the Instagram questions. If y'all not connected with me on Instagram, the link is definitely in my description box down below. It's at Uneak Tershai, the same as my channel, so y'all come check me out. My pictures are cute over there, whatever, and I make a little bit of reels, so come say hey, leave me a DM, say hey girl, hey, I'm from YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the YouTube questions and we can wrap this one up. All right, do you plan on moving on your own? I don't think I do. I don't think that I'll ever live on my own. I just don't see that for myself. I see that I'm going to move with the person that I marry and get engaged to, and I would live my life with them, build a family with them, and always live with them. If I ever lived on my own, it'll be because I'm traveling for work or I'm on an extended travel away somewhere and I just happen to go solo. But no, I don't ever foresee myself having like my own house or my own apartment. I just feel like once I leave from my mom's house, I want to be courted by my partner for us to live together. I'm just traditional and those type of things. Like, I just never saw living alone for myself because I don't really desire to have like my own apartment or my own house. It's just not appealing to me. I would rather live in a car, or I would rather live in multiple places all over the world. I don't necessarily ever see myself just being in an apartment by myself, being in a house by myself. Why would I do that when I can be in a villa in Bali? Something amazing, right? I don't know. That's just not for me, and I don't see it for me. I want somebody to propose to me and move me from my mother's house when we get married. That's what I want. How does your family feel about you doing card readings? Well, initially I got the pushback of that's demonic, but I would say that I do have one family member who actually reaches out to me directly. They're actually the person who inspired me to start my channel with my readings separate from this one, because I was like, wow, I'm actually really good at this. I'm really in tune with this. I'm really good at this. My messages are so beautiful. They're just, I don't know, they give you all the feels. And now that I offer readings and stuff, I like the fact that I have my own channel. And so initially, yes, some members in my family took it as witchcraft, demonic, not of God, you know, that narrative. But I definitely have a few people in my family that's supportive of my readings, and I actually read for my family. So yeah, I have it like two ways. Some people think that it's demonic and some people with the shits. What made you start your spiritual journey? Do you plan to add more spiritual content to your channel? I feel like this channel is spiritual in the sense that I'm spirit first. And so how I was telling y'all that my lifestyle, my spirituality is intertwined. If you watch my unique journey, you will pick up on the spiritual gems that I share, possess. I feel like me creating this space with y'all and making it very sacred and very intimate, that is a way of expressing what spirit is. And I feel like just because I'm here is spirit, you know. But I do have another channel that I told y'all about before where I do more spirituality based content, because I feel like that portal needed to be created for people who are seeking that specifically, and people who are seeking something that's more lifestyle related, they can come here and experience that. Yes, more spirituality content is coming. I post every single day something as it relates to spirituality on my other channel, and I'm trying to be here at least 2 to 3 times a week. And so me showing up here is spiritual, period. What made you get into bartending? I was actually inspired to bartend by my sister. She wanted us to go and take a bartending class some years ago. We just never got around to doing it. Then I started watching Bree Rabbit here on YouTube, and I saw that she was a bartender, and she was my second inspiration that actually pushed me in action. Going through a pandemic, panoramic, whatever y'all want to call it, I wanted to have bartending as a way for me to go outside and be social, because I was so bored working from home and not having social interaction with people. My whole life had got so consumed with online, digital. I was in a long distance relationship. All of my friends lived in other states and cities. Everything was digital. I wanted something real that I can feel and touch and and bartending gave me that. And also the money that bartending could bring for you was really intriguing for me, because I was just like, oh, y'all making that? I make that at my day job. Let me go see what it's about. All right, so I'm still trying to find my place where I can make buku bands being a bartender. I haven't got there yet, but I'm only like a year or two in, so that's understandable. But once I do, we on. When are you and Flame going to get married? We've talked about being married, but I don't have like an actual date as to when we're going to get married that I personally want to share with y'all. I kind of want to keep that to myself. When we do get married, y'all probably won't know. I'll probably be married for a really, really long time before y'all realize or even find out that I'm married. Same thing with children. I'll probably be pregnant for a really, really long time. I'll probably have a whole child before y'all even know that I have a child, because those are things that I just want to keep to myself. I want to keep it offline. I want to keep it really, really regular and traditional, because I don't feel like a lot of my life is traditional at all. So I like to find little pockets of tradition to hold on to myself. So I have an idea as to when we'll be married, but I can't tell y'all because I don't want to tell y'all. So yeah. Do we have plans on moving in together? Yes, it's definitely something that we've talked about, but it's complicated because we live in 2 separate countries. So yeah, anybody who is familiar with that lifestyle, you know. The last question is, do you even want to be married? Yes, to a certain extent. I think that I like the idea of being married, but I don't think that I'm necessarily marriage type. And the reason why I say that is because even though I have traditional values around, you know, wanting to be courted and proposed to and then move out with the person that I'm with, I could also be with that person and us never get married. We just have an understanding of, we know what it is. I would be cool with a long life of domestic partnership. That would be okay for me. Marriage is not a deal breaker. It's not something that I feel like I necessarily have to do. But if it does come around for me, I'm not opposed to that. And if it can allow different things to run more smoothly, then I'm not opposed to that as well. I hope that that's not too confusing. But yeah, I've thought about it. I've gone in and out the ebb and flow of wanting to be and not wanting to be, but I would say overall speaking, it's not a deal breaker for me. I would be so cool with just being a domestic partner for the rest of my life, and that being that, like, you know what it is on paper, I'll be a beneficiary all day long, but you don't have to marry me. I'm cool with just being your domestic partner and us knowing what it is, you know? So yeah, this was a long one. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I feel like I was open to share majority of everything that y'all asked of me, and I really appreciate everybody who submitted me questions. Y'all really show up and show out for your girl, and I respect that. So thank y'all for even making this video possible. If you haven't liked this video, definitely consider giving it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below answering one of the questions that I was asked of on this video to let me know that y'all actually watched it. Okay, thank y'all for watching, and if y'all got any video ideas of what y'all want to see next, then definitely let me know as well. Go check the description box for all the links to my social media as well as my other channels and how y'all can connect with me if you want to read in. All that information is gonna be down there below. Thank y'all for being here, and I guess that's bye for now. Bye y'all.